Hello and welcome to another Vlogmas video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And today I'm going to be something that I did today I'm going to be doing something that I did in last year's Vlogmas. So I've picked a selection of books, each beginning with the letters of the word Christmas. So book beginning with C, book beginning with H, R-I-S-T-M-A-S. So all of these books begin with a letter that spells out Christmas. And last year I just did it to sort of like showcase some of the books that I've got on my shelf, which I think is a really good idea. But as I was picking out books this time, I was like, oh, these are all books that I really want to read. So I've done a selection of books that spell out the word Christmas that I want to read early on in 2017. Bloody hell, 2017, that sounds like the future, don't it? Really hot today. I don't know why, it's cold outside. I've got my Elfie jumper on, you might not be able to see it. And quite frank, I can't be bothered to stand up. I've got my balance on a little tiny stool. So I'll start with a book that begins with the letter C, and that is Carole by Patricia Highsmith. This is a library book. This was made into a film, I believe, this year with Rooney Mara and, my goodness me, I always forget this woman's name. Kate Blanchett? Yes, Kate Blanchett. Who do I get her confused with? Maybe Tilda Swinton. I feel like I always get her confused with somebody. Anyway. This is about a young girl working as a sales assistant in New York, and she's really bored with her life and she doesn't like her boyfriend and blah blah blah, and an older woman comes in who I believe must be called Carole, and sort of she falls in love with her, and it just sounds really like it just sounds really like I'm gonna be proper into it, and I want to read this and then watch the film very early on in 2017, so this may even be a January read. My goodness me, it is warm in here. So this may even be a January read, but that's my book beginning with C. My book beginning with H is a book that I recently bought on a trip to Libreria. This will be a sort of semi-book haul as well, because there's some books in here you haven't seen yet. This is Kate Tempest's poetry collection, Hold Your Own. So recently there was a booktube meetup where Jen, Lauren, Jean, Lena and Sana all took over the bookshop Libreria on Brick Lane, and they were in there advising people what they might like to buy and things like that, and I went along and got forced, no I didn't get forced to be this, and bought Hold Your Own by Kate Tempest. So poetry is very, very, very new to me. I've just recently read my first ever poetry, and they were little Carole Ann Duffy Christmas poetries, but I feel excited about this, and I bought 3 poetry selections that day. This, Grief is a Thing with Feathers, and Tidings, which is a Christmas one that I will be reading this Christmas period. But I can't just keep reading Christmas poetry the rest of my life. No, I can't. So I'm looking forward to getting to this, and this is a selection of poetry by Kate Tempest, which I've heard is wonderful, so cannot wait for that. Letter R is a book that I got for my birthday off of the wonderful Eleanor from Eleanor Reads Books, who's channel I will link down below, and this is Relish, My Life in the Kitchen by Lucy Knisley. So I love anything to do with food, so like I love food fiction, and Eleanor, I had shown this on her book, on her channel before, and I was like, my god, I would really, really love that, and kept going on about it. She's read all of Lucy Knisley's books now, and bought this for me for my birthday. So it's a graphic novel all about Lucy Knisley's life in the kitchen, and it's got lots of like little hints and tips about cooking and things like this, how now comes the sushi in, how to make some sushi, and it's a storyline as well. I cannot wait to read this. This, I feel like, might even be the first book that I read in 2017. I'm really, really pumped for this, and if I wasn't reading all Christmas books this month, I would definitely be reading this already, because I am so, so thrilled and excited about that. The next letter is I, and that is I Call Myself a Feminist, The View from 25 Women Under 30. I won this in a giveaway on Jean's Bookish Thoughts channel earlier this year, and it's just been on my shelf with its beautiful red spine poking out, and I really need to read it now. I'm told it's not just not going to take me a long time. A lot of the pages are sort of just quotes about feminism. It's got feminist essays in there. People included in here are Laura Bates, who I really like, Louise O'Neill, just looking at some ones I recognise the name of, Amy Annette, Emily Benn. So I feel very, very excited to get to this, and I will be reading that soon. S is for Swimming Home by Deborah Levy. This I picked up on a booktube, my first ever booktube meetup in August, and haven't got around to it. It's very, very thin. It was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2012, and recently Deborah Levy's other book, Hot Milk, was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize as well. I must get round to reading some Deborah Levy. This is a very short book, and it really is not going to take me very long at all. I don't really know what it's about, so I'll read the back. As he arrives with his family at the villa in the hills above Nice, Joe sees a body in the swimming pool, but the girl is very much alive. She is Kitty Finch, a self-proclaimed botanist with green painted fingernails, walking naked out of the water and into the heart of their holiday. Why is she there? What does she want from them all? And why does Joe's enigmatic wife allow her to remain? So yeah, I feel very looking forward to that. The next book I am pumped for, and I would definitely be reading in January, and that's following Mercedes' review of it. I will link her review down below because it made me want to read it really good. Really good? Made me really want to read it. It's The Unseen World by Liz Moore. I saw this in... I went to the Pam Macmillan book party recently, and Eleanor and I met up a bit earlier, and we went book shopping, and she said, Mercedes has just given that 5 stars, you must buy it. And I was like, I'll buy it. So I bought this, and it's about a young girl who, she lives with her surrogate father, who's a computer scientist, and he dies, and he leaves her a floppy disk with lots of... A floppy disk for his beloved daughter. Ada has no idea that the coding within it holds the key to his past. It was a past that he refused to talk about. It's a life that Ada will spend years piecing back together to try and rebuild the father she lost. So I feel very excited about this, and I will definitely be reading this in January as well. The next letter is M for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. So recently I filmed a video with my best friend Emma. I've got a series of videos that I film called Book Chats With, and it's with people that I know in real life. So I've done my sister, my cousin, my boyfriend, my best friend, and at the end of the video I recommend them a book and buy it for them. Spoiler for anyone else who's going to be on the channel. And Emma kindly bought me this back, which was completely unexpected and lovely. And I've been wanting to read this for a while. Emma has read it and enjoyed it, and also has seen the film. And it just sounds really like cool but creepy. So it's about children. I think it's like a little bit X-Men-ish, but not really. And it's interspersed with these photos that the writer found at a yard sale, and like she sort of linked them into the story. So it sounds like it's going to be really strange, but it sounds like it's going to be really good, and I'm very much looking forward to it. This is a really nice copy. It's really floppy and heavy, and very excited to read that. The next letter is A, and the book that I have got for the A letter is a book that I bought at the beginning of last year and kept meaning to read it all in 2016. I've not read it, will definitely be reading it in 2017. And that is A God in Ruins by Kate Atkinson. So Life After Life by Kate Atkinson was one of my favourite books from 2015 last year. It was in my top 3. I really, really loved it. And this is the follow-on from this. So this tells about Teddy Todd is the name of the girl, the chap who it follows, and Ursula, Teddy's sister, was the character that you followed in Life After Life. So this is just continuing the story from that, and I can't wait to read it. I loved Life After Life so much. I can't believe I haven't read this yet. And also, do you know what else I'm really annoyed about? The fact I've peeled a sticker off here and have not removed the rest of the residue. Disgusting. We'll need to get to that. And then lastly, the second S in Christmas is for Strange Weather in Tokyo. So David and I I bought this when David and I went to watch Aladdin this year in June, and it was, excuse me, it was really near to Foyles. The theatre was really near to Foyles, so I popped in and bought this. And I just need to read it. I keep hearing wonderful things about Hiromi Kawakami. It says here, one night when she is drinking alone in a local bar, Tsukiko finds herself sitting next to her former high school teacher. Over the coming months, they share food and drink sake, and as the seasons pass from spring cherry blossom to autumnal mushrooms, Tsukiko and her teacher come to develop a hesitant intimacy which tilts awkwardly and poignantly towards love. So these are some books that I am desperately to read at the beginning of 2017, and I just thought this was a really good way of sort of showing off some of the books that I've got on my shelf. I would love to see some other people do this. I'm not going to tag anyone, but if you're like doing Vlogmas and you think, oh, I'd like to do that. Last year I did it for books that were just on my shelf, but this year I thought I'd incorporate it with books that I really want to read soon. So these are going to go on a sort of like shelf that I'm making. I'm having a bit of a rearrange of my old... I'm having a bit of a rearrange of my shelves, and I'm going to put these on a shelf where I'm like, go to, must read from this shelf first. So there's going to go for there. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again for another Vlogmas video tomorrow. Goodbye!